This is episode 3 of Be Happy Abroad, How to Live a Fulfilling and Meaningful Life as an International, in which we explore the importance of having a clear future vision to move towards. You will learn which specific benefits you get from formulating a compelling vision for your life and get a practical tool on how to start on creating your personal vision. Hello and a warm welcome to Be Happy Abroad, How to Live a Fulfilling and Meaningful Life as an International. My name is Franziska Luxhoy and I'm your host. Each week we explore proven strategies and insights to help you adapt, connect and thrive abroad, no matter where in the world you are. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite platform so you don't miss out. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Today, I'll start by asking for your openness towards a small experiment. So even though you've never been in this situation yourself, play along and try to put yourself in the shoes of someone who has. Imagine you have just moved abroad with your partner because they got an amazing career opportunity and you decided together to make that jump. You quit the job you had in your home country or the country you previously lived in and packed up for the big adventure. You're excited, you look forward to lots of fantastic experiences and also new challenges and opportunities when it comes to your career. You have tons of valuable experience, a solid educational background, have had success in your previous position or positions, so you're not in doubt that you will succeed. Full of motivation and energy, you start sending off those applications to job openings you feel drawn to. It takes time to hear back. Sometimes you don't ever receive a reply. If you hear back, it is mostly a rejection. You do get invited to the occasional interview, sometimes even several rounds, only to receive a rejection after that. You start losing your faith in you being able to find a job in this country. Your self-confidence fades, and with it also your self-worth. Why can't they see your value? Why can't they see how driven and capable you are to deliver great value to the company? So you think to yourself, maybe my expectations are just too high. Maybe I should be less selective in the kinds of jobs I apply for and just go for a job to get started. What you long for most now is to have a life of your own again, to feel like you have yours instead of just being the partner of. Now, this is unfortunately a scenario that happens all too often. In different variations, of course. It could, for example, also be that you moved to your partner's country to be together, a very likely scenario as well. And it is my story as well from the time when we moved to the Netherlands in 2011. Moving there, I had no shimmer of a doubt that I would succeed in landing a job. I had good qualifications, spoke several languages, even managed to send applications and do job interviews in Dutch. But it didn't go that way. There were several reasons for the rejections, one of them being the fear if I could perform well enough in Dutch from day one. So at some point I started applying for jobs that I was really overqualified for, only to receive rejections as well. With that exact reason, because unfortunately in that case there is a fear that you might get bored on the job, that you might feel after a while that you are underpaid, etc. All fair reasons, which is why the recruiter doesn't want to take the risk. There are many aspects that could be explored around that scenario, and what I want to focus on today is clarity on your vision. instead of giving up on what you really want and trying to apply for just a job, double down on your dreams and become crystal clear on what it is that you want. Looking back, that was probably one of my challenges that came through every single time when they asked me at the interview, "So where do you see yourself in 5 years?" The answer I could give was not super clear, it was not convincing, and it might have made them doubt if I indeed was the best candidate. Now, before we delve deep into today's topic, let me quickly say, a vivid vision is valuable, not only in the context of a career, but also and especially for life. I always work with my clients on their vision for life, for every single area of their life, particularly after a move abroad, where many lose parts of their identity, feel lost and overwhelmed. A clear image of where you want to go, what you want your life to look like, is so important. So let's start right here. Why is a really compelling vision important? Here is a paragraph from the book Coactive Coaching, the coaching methodology I am trained in. We can be pushed down the road by deadlines and expectations and to-do lists. We can be driven by the desire for money or accomplishment, or by the promises we make. Or we can be pulled down the road by the gravitational force of a compelling vision, like water running downhill. You can feel the difference between these two forces, pushed or driven on one hand, or pulled irresistibly on the other. So just hearing that, where do you feel more comfortable, more inspired, more at ease and peace? Where things feel light, energizing, empowering. So in the one scenario, you have that compelling, vivid vision. In the other, you don't. How does that impact your daily life? How does it make you get out of bed in the morning? How inspired and motivated do you feel to put in the work, to push through challenges, to leave your comfort zone in pursuit of something, if you have the compelling vision or if you don't? So this is the why. This is why becoming crystal clear on what you want, what your future would look like if it was completely up to you, is so immensely powerful. Let's look at a few more specific outcomes of having a compelling vision. First of all, it gives you hope. In the previous episode, when I talked about 3 key challenges that make us unhappy as an expat, I also shared the situation I found myself in a few years ago, when I really lacked that future perspective and questioned if that really was all life had to offer. It feels like a somewhat hopeless place. If you have hope, you are in a better position to set goals for yourself, to focus on your mental health, and to overall experience higher levels of well-being. Having a clear vision also provides direction. This clear image of where you want to be in maybe 3, 5, or even 10 years establishes a foundation for daily action, for decision making. Daily decisions, but especially also the big and hard ones, because you can gauge if a decision you're about to take will bring you closer to that desired future or not. You have something to hold it up against. So in that sense, the vision serves as your compass. And thirdly, it boosts your creativity. How so? Well, if you have a clear desired future, you actually will want to find ways to get there. It will foster out-of-the-box thinking. It's just as the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. Will it always be easy? No. But if you want to be a certain place, if you have that vision to go for, chances that you find creative solutions are higher. There are probably many more outcomes to having a compelling vision. If you have anything you want to add, put it in the comments of the episode website and share with us. The motivation to have a compelling vision is not necessarily that this becomes your future, but mostly that it impacts your daily life in such big ways. Because it puts you in a position where you show up in different ways, in bigger ways, in more authentic ways, in more convincing ways. And that way, actually, the probability that you move towards that vision, if you have it clear in your mind, does also get higher. Plus, the vision keeps you going when the going gets tough, which is desperately needed when creating a happy life abroad and particularly in the process of a job search. So how do you formulate a compelling vision? Well, there are many different ways. One of the most widely known ones might be the vision board, where you create a visual representation of what you would like your future to look like. And even here, there are countless possibilities on how to create it. So here, in the practical part of this episode, I want to focus on something that is often a bit overlooked. Instead of visualizing what you want in your future, or what you would like your future exactly to look like, let's look at who you become in that future. Now, think back 10 years ago. How were you different to now? Where were you in your life? What had you achieved at that point? What were your strengths and what your improvement areas? Which knowledge and awareness about yourself do you have now that you didn't have then? What were your biggest dreams back then? What were you going for? Whatever came up for you right now, I am pretty sure that you are amazed at how far you have come in 10 years. Personally, I definitely was. So now let's take the step into the future, looking 10 years ahead. Who are you 10 years from now? What do you want your life to look like? If anything was possible, where would you be? What would you do? From that 10 years in the future perspective, reflect on the following questions. What have you learned? In which areas have you grown? Which skills, competencies, strengths do you have? Which impact have you had? This is really a place to dream big. Don't hold back. From that clarity, you can focus on the now. What can you do, invest in, focus on right now to move towards that future? Any kind of goal carries growth with it. Take the goal to run a marathon, or maybe start smaller and make it a 10K or 5K run. At the point where you attempt to realize your goal, you will have grown in some areas. Your stamina, your strength, your knowledge on how to manage your energy, not starting the run too fast, what best to eat before the run, etc. This is the same with any kind of goal or future vision. You can break it down into smaller areas to focus on in daily life. But having this bigger picture is really valuable and helpful because it gives you a pointer as to what helps you move towards that. Do you want to share some insights you had through this episode? Or do you have any questions I can answer? I'd love to hear from you and connect. Just send an email to podcast@behappyabroad.com. For today, I want to leave you with a quote by baseball player Yogi Berra to ponder upon. You've got to be very careful if you don't know where you are going, because you might not get there. This was Be Happy Abroad, How to Live a Fulfilling and Meaningful Life as an International. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, leave us a review and share it with your international friends so they too can embark on a journey to fill their life abroad with freedom, joy, love, and happiness.